Welcome back. Got any lights? Lights? Did this thing burn out on me? Come on. Really? Ah, light burned out. At least one of them. We've got others. Let's flip on some others. They might help. They might not. I don't know. Hey, I'm here with the Urban Express once again. This is my original Urban Express. It's given me all kinds of problem with jetting. And usually when you have problems with jetting and you can't get it dialed in, these crank seals have gone bad. And I've replaced the right one already. And I'm kind of in the middle of the process of the left one. And this was a living nightmare. It's not so bad now that it's over, but there's this gear that goes up on here. How am I going to get that back on? I had to heat it up, I guess. And trying to get this thing off was hell. I started with, these puny jaw pullers. These suck. These will not work. They'll slip off. And then I went to AutoZone and got this Pitman type tie rod puller, but that was close to fitting, but it wouldn't quite do the job. So I remembered that when I bought the pullers, I bought a set of 3. So I got out the big daddies here, and that coupled with a propane torch I heated up the gear, and I had this thing all hooked up, and when I heated up that gear, it just all of a sudden popped off with like a gunshot. That was kind of scary. So, and then to protect the end of the crankshaft, I put a washer over it. You don't want to. The puller will balloon out the edges of this crankshaft and make it unusable. So. You want to protect it somehow, and I used a washer. There's probably other ways to do it. The puller basically enlarged the diameter of that washer about 10 times. It was just a tiny little hole, but here's the other side. But anyhow, it absorbs some of the pressure of all that, of the puller, and so didn't damage anything there. The puller arms kind of tore up the sides of my cover here, or the belt case, or whatever you want to call it. So, but whatever, I can live with that. And I pulled out the old Captain Janeway, as a matter of fact, gave me this tip. I went to the hardware store and got one of these paint can lid openers. And you basically reach under and grab the seal, and what I had to do was like get a screwdriver and put it around like this and pull these suckers out. Man, I don't know what it is about the Urban Express, but my experience pulling seals has always been very, very difficult with these things. And the old seal was so old. Where did it go? I've got a mess of stuff here. It was around here somewhere. The old seal was so old that it left this ring of like light brown crust all on the inside of where it goes here. And I spent like forever cleaning that out. So here's the new seal part number, 91202-KBN-922. You can actually get these on Amazon, I saw. although Treatland has them too. You probably find them on eBay as well. But anyhow, you know, I had all kinds of problems getting the jetting right on this, and it got to the point where it would just on full throttle, if I gave it full throttle, it would cut out on me, and if I kept it at full throttle, it would just cut out and want to die, and would die if I wouldn't let off the throttle. So I'd already replaced the right side, which is a lot easier, and now I'm doing the left side. Yeah, I'm going to have to heat this up. I've got my little toaster oven. That's what I'll use. I was going to hit it with the propane torch again. Other issues is my spindles all chewed up here, making it really hard to get the Kickstarter arm off. It's chewed up all over the place. So I don't know if there's anything I can do. Probably not. I'll look for another one on eBay, I guess. But, and I want to put a kit on this, so I want to make sure there's no air leaks in these crank seals, because that is the death, surefire death of any kit, top-end kit that you put on these things. So, John out of Texas is working on his Townie, and he's finally taking my advice to replace the crankshaft bearing seals. Crankshaft, and then the bearings are in there, and then this is the seal. And believe me, I have chased my tail with kits and jetting so much in the past because I didn't take the time to just break down and do this. It always seems scary, but I mean, you just gotta do it. You gotta do it. So anyhow, I've got my Yama Bond, and anytime you replace a crankshaft bearing seal on a side where there's no oil, you know, since we've got the CVT system here, there's no oil in here. I always use Yama Bond on the outside of this to help the seal. And as a matter of fact, I should probably put a little grease to help slide it on there too. Let me see, what can I use? So some grease on the inside and some Yama Bond on the outside. So what do we got in life? I could try to use this, I guess. Spray a little on something. There we go. And then I took quite a bit of effort to clean out where the seal mating surface there on the outside, as I mentioned earlier. So this Yama Bond is not good to breathe in. This is some nasty stuff. So make sure you have adequate ventilation. And anytime you're using a propane torch, you see I've gotten the carburetor way out of the way and sealed off the intake somewhat. So here goes. Okay, so, ooh, that's stinky stuff. My normal washer is too small. I could go get a bigger washer, but everything is closed. But my PVC pipe, I think it's like an inch. This should work perfect. Now, the trick is, let me get a little more of this Yama bond on this one side. You kind of got one shot to do this. Now you just want to push it flush. And this matches up with the seal pretty good. And you just want to push it in flush with even pressure. This other side cut evenly. If I can just tap that in. And if you screw up, you pretty much got to pull it back out. All right, it's going in a little uneven. That's close. It's just this one side. Wipe off some of this Yama bond on the outside so I can see what the hell's going on here. The bottom's a little uneven too. Okay, the temptation is to want to push it in too far. So let's resist temptation. Although, I think like this, we kind of just don't push the bike over. A little bit on this side. You don't want to take like a screwdriver or something and try to push it in, because that'll how does that feel? We're close. Which side was this cut on? This one? So this should be the straight side. I wonder if I've got a socket big enough to go around all that. think I want it just a little bit further in, just a millimeter or two. There goes a gear and a washer. Where was I? That's pretty darn close. Just a little bit on the top. It's good on the bottom. Just right on the top. Alright, I'm sure you guys are getting bored. Well, anyhow, I'll finish that off. It's probably good, but I'm just, I don't want to have to get in here again, you want to make sure it's right. But anyhow, that's the left side crankshaft bearing seal on this Honda Urban Express. And I'm probably being a little too particular, but like I said, I don't want to be in here again. So there you have it. I'll have to, on another one, I'll have to film the whole process so you guys can see what a joy this is. Ride safe.